What's going on, guys? It's your boy Az. We are back. Today we are going to be talking about the Horsemen of War nodes that are coming up here, and the Datamine has revealed and given us a quick peek of what the character restrictions are going to be like. We already know that the 5 and 10 are going to be the ones that consist of the Hero Asgardians, the Wave 1 Avengers, and of course the Ravagers as well. But they've also given us a peek here as well at the first few nodes. The first couple nodes is and it's subject to change, of course, as well as every data mine is always. But usually they are pretty much on their money. So the first couple nodes looks like it's going to be a bile trait node, especially if you're going to go above difficulty 2. So that's nice for us because that means we can use previously used Scourge teams like the Web Warriors. We can use those guys that we've already put a lot of resource investment into as well. And additionally as well, we can use some other bile teams. This is actually the second team here you guys see with Captain Marvel, Invisible Woman, and Wavel, Squirrel Girl, Miss Marvel. This is another team that I actually use in Doom 3. It's kind of my B team. I use it and they work quite well actually, thanks to the heals from Squirrel Girl and Miss Marvel as well, and of course the barrier from Wavel is really nice. But I like using characters that we've already leveled up. Of course, Squirrel Girl and Miss Marvel are no stranger to a lot of people because they were used in the last in the Famine Scourge, so they no surprises there. And of course, a lot of people will have Infinity Watch leveled up, so hence why we have Wavel. And then Captain Marvel also was part of the A-Force requirement in the last Scourge as well. So again, reusing what we've already been reusing. And of course, Invisible Woman, I just have her there because she was a pretty solid character in Dark Dimension 5 or 4. She was cheap. You can bring her up. It was nice. And the barrier, the invisibility really gives the team a bit of bulkiness. So any of these two battle teams will do, I think, just fine in the first couple nodes, which is great for us. Do keep in mind as well that the Miss Marvel will be used again here because in nodes 3 and 4, that is going to have the trait requirement for Avengers. So that's interesting because Avengers, Wave 1 Avengers is also a requirement. But if you guys have your Bionic Avengers, that is actually, if you go into the categories here and you look under Avengers, there's a ton of characters you can actually use for this category, which is really nice. I think a lot of people will be pretty happy and content that they are trying to, reuse certain characters. Sharon Carter, Captain Sam, great characters. However, do keep in mind they will be needed later on in some, I think in nodes 8 and 7 as well. So keep in mind they are there, but I'll probably most likely keep them healthy and use other characters that are available to us. Scarlet Witch is an Avenger. Like I said already, we have, scrolling to the bottom here, you'll see that Viv, Hulkbuster, Deathlock, the Bionic Avengers are part of this Avengers team, and that's really nice because I think a lot of people have pumped quite a bit of resources into them. So it's going to go really well by reusing another team that you've put a lot of resources in. So that's really nice. Additionally as well, another team that you can use is you can use the team that you used in last Scourge. So turns out that quite a bit of these guys are also Avengers. So we have Miles, we have Kate Bishop, Squirrel Girl, Miss Marvel, and of course America Chavez. They are part of the Avengers tag here, and you guys will see them here. And it only makes sense if you pump resources into them. The last Scourge, it only makes sense that you would double dip and kind of maximize your resources spending. And as you guys can see here, a lot of them I did pump levels up on as well. Squirrel Girl. She was level 87 the last time I used her. Same with Miss Marvel, America Chavez, and a lot of these characters I even pumped to tier 16 just to see if I could get a higher score for that last Scourge. So they are going to be you're going to be able to reuse them again, which is great. So that's awesome. That's awesome. And then, of course, once you finish nodes 3 and 4, we go into that first difficulty restriction with the Wave 1 Avengers and the Asgardians. So, again, as you guys can see here, I am working on these guys in preparation. And I know they need a little bit of work right now. But right now, it seems like we might need a hybrid team because the team itself doesn't seem that effective. We tried around with the the last Scourge, the Pestilent Scourge, with Morgan Le Fay rerun, and yeah, they were not efficient, at least on the nodes that I was using them on, and it just kind of opened my eyes that we're gonna probably most likely need some sort of a hybrid team. Black Widow has been shown to improve the speed of the Asgardians, and then you combine her, or excuse me, you combine that with Hulk as well on the Asgardians. Seems to give a little bit more tankiness and bulkiness to the team, and with the taunt. So we'll see we'll see how it actually is. Of course, as well, if you're using Ravagers, they're also an option. I haven't really worked on them. I have my T'Challa that I brought up for Dark Dimension 5, but other than that, everybody else was pretty much a miss. So I didn't really work on these guys, but we worked on Hero Asgardians, and then of course we worked on our Wave 1 Avengers. So that's going to be Node 5 pretty much in a nutshell. And then of course we'll go into Node 6 and 7, which is really nice because it's villains again. So villains, I think everyone's pretty comfortable with. Lots of strong, powerful villains. Omega Red, Emma Frost. If you have Darkhold members, if you have Dormammu unlocked, I don't really think we need to talk too much about that. I think it's going to be pretty straightforward 2 nodes. It's going to be, I think, a gimme. So once you get to that node 5, at least you'll have some easy ways to score points from 6 and 7. And then once you go into 8 and 9, or excuse me, or no, 7 and 8, I've confused myself here. So once you go into the last couple nodes before 10, which is 8 and 9, so I guess I did have myself right there, but then I overcorrected. But anyways, the last category before you hit up node 10 is the skill category, and a lot of people are going to have a lot of crazy strong skill characters already leveled up from the Doom 3 raids, and skill is no stranger to people. People have the crazy Secret Avenger combo with Shang-Chi. I think that's going to be your best lineup. My guys are all still level 85, but I'll probably bump them up if I need to. For the most part, I don't think we will need to. And keep in mind, 3 out of these 5 characters here, the Secret Avengers, they do form that Avenger in that initial category. So just make sure if you guys are deciding to use them early on, just make sure they're healed up and they're ready to go. Sam, Sharon, and Maria, of course, they're tier 16 as well because I had them for Dark Dimension 5. But keep in mind, if you are using them early on, just make sure they're all healed up and ready to go. What's also important to note here is the fact that because we have early access to Thor and Hulk as well, and Iron Man and Captain America in these Avenger nodes, it would probably not be a bad idea to use them as well in the first, if your kill wave doesn't make it all the way and then you have a couple of stragglers left over, it wouldn't be a bad idea to bring these guys in so then they have all their abilities and cooldowns ready to go. I don't think you really need to do that because most of their abilities are already kind of ready to go. Like Black Widow, she's going to be able to speed up right from the get-go. Iron Man's going to be able to blast his way. Same with Hulk. He's going to be able to taunt initially. And then, of course, Captain America is going to do a shield throw and taunt. I don't think you need to get those cooldowns up anyways because they're pretty short cooldowns. But it wouldn't be a bad idea if you're strategizing and trying to get ready for that node. But again, we'll do a recap here. Like I already said, nodes 1 and 2 are going to be bio based, so you can use your web warriors, you can use your A-Force with other metas like your Young Avengers plus Phyla-Vell. Nodes 3 and 4 are going to consist of Avengers, Bionic Avengers if you've already got them leveled up. Mine aren't that great. Slowly work on them as we speak. Too many characters to level up, unfortunately. And then, of course, you can also use your Young Avengers that was previously used in the Famine Scourge. So and her Famine Saga is going to be coming up as well. So it's going to be, again, it's going to be nice to reuse a team that you've already invested in. And then, of course, Node 5, we'll get into that first initial category restriction with the Hero Asgardians, Wave 1 Avengers, and, of course, Ravagers. This is going to be for Nodes 5 and 10. Once you get through that wave, you'll get to Nodes 6 and 7, which is Villains. Villains, you can use Dormammu if you've got them unlocked. If you don't, not the end of the world. You can use Doom, Emma Frost, Omega Red, Darkhold, etc. And then lastly, for the last 2 nodes before the big number 10, 8 and 9, we can have skilled characters. And again, I think a lot of people are going to have very powerful skill characters. I only listed the 5 here, but there's a whole ton that I didn't even talk about. There's Gamora, there's Zemo, lots of strong characters that I usually use on my B team. Phyla-Vell, or excuse me, not Phyla-Vell, Moondragon, sorry. And of course as well, Corvus, Midnight, if you have them pumped and ready to go, and big levels on them. But Taskmaster with the rework. So, bunch of different characters. I think some people have some really big Colleens as well. But bunch of characters we can use for that as well. But lots of strong picks, and I feel like, yeah, I feel like planning is everything here for these nodes, guys. Hopefully they don't change, but based on what I'm seeing right now, I think it should be a fairly decent Scourge run. And as always, looking forward to, playing and going through it. All right, guys, that's all we got for this time. Hopefully this has helped you guys out. Otherwise, I will catch you guys in the next one.